I love the yard. I've spent 30 years improving. I love the front deck. I love the people who live there.
I feel lucky though when I go see some of these people. They're paying $1,500, $1,800 a month for little tiny condos that don't even have as much room as we have.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And we have storage sheds and things.
We have 3 sheds out back.
We have a little yard,
so.
you know.
Oh, nice.
It's you know.
It's independent, yeah.
It's independent. That's the big one.
Well, when I bought the house, it was not for the house, but for the location in the backyard.
Okay.
And that's still the issue for me, which is why I went into the that legacy, housing legacy program, to try to preserve a sense of being able to be outside, and not that a house is built from line to line in terms of property rights, but that there's space to just hang out and be outside.
Yeah, I've been here all that time, and I love living here, regardless of various managements. It's a nice place to live. And my home, this is the first home and only home I've ever owned.
Oh, wow.
It's all mine, and but I love it, regardless of what shape it's in. I love my home though. I face, there's a hill back of the home. It goes up to Hayden Lake, and I sit out there behind the home and just sleep, relax, breathe. And I have a big tree that I hang out under, and I grow things from time to time.
And I moved in here, and that's all the money I had, and I was determined to make this my little nest, my little ashram, my little place where I could blossom and grow. And I just kept at it one thing at a time, one thing at a time. An honest fact, if somebody came in here right now and handed me $10 million cash and said, go, do what you want, I would stay right in my little home.
But I just love it here. And since the Homeowners Association got put together, I got to know a few more people. It's just, even though it's a metal structure, a metal house, you know, and you can, if I'm making a lot of noise here, they're going to hear it there, or vice versa, you know, all that kind of thing. It's still not an apartment.
Right.
And it's home. It's a nice place to live. I've swum in the pool a few times, and I ride my bike, and that's that park across the street out of Valmont if I want to go over there and ride or walk or something, you know, do something. It's just, most of the time, it's very nice and quiet.
Well, I like it just because of the location and the affordability, and there's a lot of good people in this neighborhood. There's a lot of just
Good, because we're just outside of the hustle bustle in Boulder. It's real quiet back here, and you go around this corner, it's busy, rush hour. But back here, it's nice and quiet.
It's not only Boulder, it's for the people that live here in the city. They're vibrant, in general, of course. They care, they love their town, they love the environment. Probably many, many people here shop at health stores and stuff like that. Many, many volunteers. I volunteer. I don't do as much as I can, but I used to volunteer for the homeless. I do stuff for Unity. All of these people here, many still do.
I think a large part of why I stayed, besides establishing community, was the fact that you could make changes at the time. The systems weren't so large as New York City.
Right.
So I had the potential to make changes and have a voice here. And that's what's kept me here.
That's what kept you here.
That's challenging because it seems like we're losing our middle here, and all the houses are unaffordable unless you have a group of people, and which you can't yet.
What would you say are the sort of issues that concern this neighborhood?
Well, the rents,
Right.
the way the rents are raised, they're not doing anything illegal, but they're really doing it,
Yeah.
and it makes it harder for people to stay here. I live in Vista Village here in Boulder. Vista Village manufactured housing park, and I've been here since '91. And when I moved in here, I could afford it. I was working full time. I was much younger, and I could afford it. And now that I've been here since '91, it's really difficult to afford it now. All kinds of things go on. The rents are being raised, and a lot, and it's just more difficult. And I'm not working full time.
Okay.
I'm not able to.
And then watching how the neighborhood has changed, as I said, with, you know, these very large, multi-thousands of square footage of houses, and the incredible expense and the inability for middle income or working class people to even live in Boulder.
If we do have to move out of here and then they build something else and then we move back in, but then we'll be without a home till that happens, or will we stay here and keep our trailer? And
I think everybody should have a roof over their head, food in their tummy, and a place where there's hope.
Part of the motivation was to start the program was that if there isn't economic integration with housing, we really don't have integration. We have isolated areas, which means that our schools are isolated. And I think that's a detriment. Even if in a community like this where we have very, very little ethnic diversity, at least we could try to hold on to economic diversity.
Well, I live in a wonderful neighborhood. It's mostly single family, but there are a few houses that would be considered overoccupied because Boulder has this pretty old and restrictive and pretty prejudiced rule or ordinance that says that no more than 3 unrelated adults can live together. But there's, you know, that's probably Boulder's best affordable housing option right now, is all these big houses where lots of people can live. Co-ops is just one slice, making them legal. Another is helping seniors age in place rather than having to leave. And another is affordable units. You know, but the biggest and easiest way to help us have our middle back is to make it easier for groups of people to choose to live together and not see it as just a matter of we can't afford to live the way we want to live. No. We can afford to live the way we want to live, which is as a chosen family. It's hard for people in a single family neighborhood to understand.
So I think affordable housing is very, very important. Keep people off the street, to start with that. And then slowly let us demonstrate, not through hatred and all that, that it's okay to give some of that away. Not just give it, invest it in your brothers and sisters. But I have the feeling that at least we're going to go through quite a crisis where the affordable housing is definitely necessary.